it is time for our live finale of Breakout Season 1. I'm very excited for tonight. I've expressed this many times. This show is a labor of love of mine. I created it, the concept of it, almost 10 years ago, and we adapted it into being what it is today for online. And we had an absolute stellar cast, except for one dickhead. Uh, we had 11 out of 12 stellar cast members, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. We had so much fun producing it. We thankfully, from everything we've heard from you guys, you had so much fun playing it, and everybody had a lot of fun watching it, reading the updates. But all good things must come to an end. Tonight is the live finale. We have our two finalists, MJ and Mayan. If you guys want to go ahead and jump on camera now. Welcome in, MJ. We'll start with you. MJ is an absolute phenomenal player in this game. You both were. MJ, you had your back against the wall against the entire game. You were the only player to have gone into every single elimination this entire game, never once with immunity. You played this game basically by yourself almost the entire time, and here you are sitting in the finals. Mine, you played a very quiet game as well for a long time, but nobody really saw what you were doing, but you were working hard in the background. You were building relationships with people, cutting deals that benefited you most of all, and towards the end, you were even pulling a few little tricky, cunning moves to try to get ahead, which were absolutely phenomenal to watch. We loved seeing both of you. Unfortunately, one of you is going to be our runner-up, but one of you is going to be our winner. We teased in the viewers lounge and to you guys that this was a close finale. That is the understatement of the century. So for those who don't know, all throughout the game the players have had a time limit to get as far through this maze as possible, but for the last attempt we let the players go all the way through. They had to start from the beginning, work their way all the way through to the last section of the maze, completing all the puzzles along the way. They had the option of golden keys to help them skip past certain challenges, but ultimately, we timed how long it took them to get out. When I say that this was close, we erupted on the production chat after the second attempt because you guys, and I shit you not, 4 seconds difference in your times. It cannot get closer than that. MJ, do you have anything to say before we reveal the results?
This has been so much fun. Fantastic game. Mayan, good luck. It's been a blast playing with you. Everybody else, I had a great time getting to know you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you. Mayan, anything? Any final words?
Best of luck to you too, MJ. I'm so excited. It's been an amazing game. Either way, I'm so happy that one of us girls won.
All right. Congratulations. Both of you are very deserving of winning. You both played very solid games. We were so happy to have both of you on. Please, if you don't win, don't take it as a knock against your game. You both played exceptional. I mean, 4 fucking seconds difference is insane. But without further ado, and after I announce the winner, everybody else who is on the call, feel free to turn your cameras on and your mics on and congratulate the winner. But let's start. MJ, your final time to escape the entire maze was 16 minutes and 31 seconds. Mayan, your time was 16 minutes and 35 seconds. Congratulations, MJ. You are our official winner of Season 1 of Breakout.
Congrats,
Good
MJ!
Good
job.
Congrats. Well done, MJ.
Thank you so much. That's amazing.
This woman went into every single elimination this entire game. She never once had immunity. She had one item to help her in the game, which she immediately got rid of as soon as she used it. She had 1 2-minute time advantage, and that is it the entire game. And to express just how fucking impressive your game was, we showed you guys in the viewers lounge that this is the finish. You guys can't see it here. If you log into the stream link that I gave you, you can see all the visuals. But yeah, so this was the maze that we showed you guys that you all had to navigate throughout the season. To express the impression, how impressive MJ was, when she used her golden keys, she did not use her keys on a single section of the maze, and she was not allowed to use notes. She navigated the entire maze by memory on her final attempt, only making one mistake at the very end.
Holy shit.
So absolutely incredible job, MJ. Please, how are you feeling right now? Tell us what's going through your mind.
I'm so happy. That was so much fun. And thank you guys. Yeah, listen, when it first started, I kept getting picked every single time. And at one point, I'm like, gosh, I could sure use a break. Mayan graciously tried to give me a break, and then somebody pretty sneakily threw an advantage out there that put me right back in it. At that point, I'm like, just let me have at it. So, when it came time to do the final, I just really focused on my path. By the way, when Raven, I saw the maze that you did, unbelievable. That was incredible. And I did have to take the hard way sometimes, didn't I?
Yes.
But I mean, it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. And I thank you guys, all of you. I've really enjoyed getting to meet you all.
Yeah, that was another point. Not only did she memorize the entire maze, she was the only person who took the long way on section 2 that went around the entire track. But yeah, no, it was absolutely it was crazy to watch you play with your back against the wall the entire time, and you never not had a smile on your face. You were enjoying every moment, and I think that's what we love so much. But mine, I want to talk to you about your game too, because one of the things that I had said early on when I was developing this was that I had a strategy in my mind of how I would play the game, but I can't wait to see 12 people come in not understanding what the game is, not knowing, and developing their own strategies that I wouldn't even think of. And that's exactly what you did. We were equating you on production as you were the Morgan Freeman from Shawshank Redemption in this game, because you were the person that everybody went to get help or to get something or to make deals behind the scenes. And I don't know how much everyone really understands that people were willingly coming up and just giving you coins to buy advantages to help them, and then you would turn around and just use it on yourself, and no one would be mad about it. You were cutting deals with people like Dustin, saying, hey, give me your money and I'll give you directions in the maze. And here you are. You always had a massive coin stack, and you were always buying things to help advance yourself further in the game. So it was a really interesting strategy. Can you tell us about how you developed that as you were going?
I just felt like early on seeing commissary, I was like, I need to get coins. So anytime anyone would be like, oh, I need a little help here and there, I'm like, oh, okay, send me 5 coins, send me 10 coins, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, I basically had bought up every single thing in the commissary. I felt like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so it's not Survivor, so we're not getting voted out, so I didn't think that the social part was necessarily as important to me.
Mhm.
I was like, it's about these advantages. So I was just like, yeah, send me the coins
Yeah.
and I'll spend them.
Yeah, and you had a strong start right from the beginning, because in the very first challenge where you guys had to search the cells for coins and advantages and stuff like that, she was cleaning up. She was
Yeah,
she'd give us a number, she'd find an advantage. Do you want to stop? No, keep going. Oh, you found 10 coins. Do you want to go? Keep going? Yep, you found another advantage. Oh, you found more coins. You walked out of that with so much arsenal right from the beginning of the game. It was really kind of fun to watch.
I was honestly annoyed at myself after getting the pictures because I was like, I should have kept going and
Mhm.
won immunity because all my numbers that I was going to pick next were not picked. So I
Mhm.
was like, oh man, I could have done better.
But so when I originally designed the concept of this game, the idea was that I wanted a game that could be played one of two ways. One is if you're a very social player, you can create a social strategy where you talk to other people, you gain information from them, or you could play it the way that mine and MJ did, which is playing it very close to the vest. Not getting involved in other people and really focusing on the goal. Phil, you took the other approach. You took the very social approach. Like, can you explain your game to everybody?
I took the necessity approach based on my intellect, and I'm not a puzzle person. In fact, I almost didn't want to play this game when I found out the format because I am a social person. You can't vote people out. What the hell am I doing here? Why am I wasting my time talking to people? About two eliminations in, I did figure out why my social approach could be important. When I started getting every key that came afterwards, I didn't get Banfields, which I'm very, very sour about.
Technically, you did.
But I did get Banfields because I knew that the Aussie Alliance was who I wanted to work with at the beginning. And I figured either Kira or Isabel probably got Banfields. And then when Izzy went out, and I was very sad about that, but I got both their keys, so my sadness was tempered by the fact that I kept getting keys. And the fact that Izzy scared the crap out of me in the first couple days because she knew everything going on. I mean, she was hacking the game, telling me all about my cell, telling me this, telling me that. I found out afterwards in the game that she knew even more stuff that I didn't even know. I mean, it was just absolutely blowing my mind. And I kind of wanted Kira all to myself at one point. So I did that. I think the one devious thing I did in this game, because I actually played a pretty honest game. I gave truthful information, tried to help people out, never as much as I would, my knowledge was, but enough that they thought that I was actually helping them out. Kira, I gave the false path at one point, and I knew she'd get lost if I gave her what she got. So that was the one devious thing I did, but I loved her the most in the game. And I definitely represented you throughout my confessionals because I loved you so much. So
He
that was
did.
the only thing I regret in this game
He did
as
talk
far
a
as my
lot of
social
he
stuff.
said a lot of nice things about you, Isabel, throughout the game in his production chat. Honestly, like you said, a really lot of nice things about everybody. Like Phil, what I congratulate you because you really understand how to separate game from personal, which was like really fun to watch. Like, the Phil you were to everybody else in the game is not the Phil you were to us in production. And it's such a shame that you guys could not see that dichotomy going on, but it was wonderful to watch. But I do have to get one thing on you though. You did say that you never lied about anything. You were always truthful about everything. So, Phil, I want to give you the opportunity right now to be truthful about one more thing because we did tease for the longest time in this game that we had something that we have not revealed to everybody yet, and we were saving it for the finale. Phil, would you like to tell everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, everybody will probably know the person I targeted the most in this game was Mayan. One of the reasons is because I think I was the last person to actually join the game,
You second to
and Mayan
last.
and I have been married for 10 years now. So I didn't want anybody to have any idea that I was married to her. So I played exactly the opposite how I would if I had any relationship with her, which I think actually screwed me because I would have tried to get her out earlier if I would have known that
We
I was not making it to the top.
we
So
we can confirm
What
first
the
off before anyone says anything
That is
that
wild.
everything that they did in game with each other, they did openly talk about in game. There was nothing going on behind the scenes with them or anything like that. Everything that happened in game was discussed in game.
That's
There was a
wild.
lot of little deals going on between the two of them, but it's the same deals that Phil had going on with like
Yo, the cackle that just
everybody.
left my throat. The cackle that just left my
Wow.
throat. Me thinking Phil was gay this
Wow.
entire time. The cackle just left my throat. Oh my god.
But yeah,
I did not see that coming.
we
I did not see that coming.
this was a happy accident in casting. I did not know about this until after we cast Phil, and then I was informed, and I said, "This is fucking brilliant." Even a lot of our production staff don't know this.
I
Not Phil
knew.
also told no, hold on. Not Phil at one point telling me we needed to target Mayan and MJ. That is wild.
This is cool.
Yes.
Lord.
But
I want to know why everybody wanted to target me. Like, what was the
You
deal
guys
with
are
that?
so cute.
yeah.
And then we go into Maya and said, "Hey, Phil's targeting you." That's so crazy.
And we kind of played opposite,
Yeah, it
You know,
we on
Captain-
production we were laughing our asses off every time Dennis was like, "Oh, you know what? I got to get this. I got to turn on Phil against Mayan. I got to get him to go against Mayan." Everyone constantly trying to get the two of them to go against each other. And I forget who it was specific. Oh, Dustin, if you're here, there you are.
Right here.
When you came on the weekly recap show at the very end, we had talked to you about tell us about people's relationships in the game. Like what do you think Phil's relationship
Sorry.
with MJ is? And you went on and we asked like, oh, and then I very specifically in the moment went, what do you think Phil's relationship with Mayan is? And you're like, oh no, there's like nothing going on between the two of them. Like I don't even think they've talked.
I was like, they hate each other. And he's like, oh yeah.
That's
So-
sometimes
Dude, that was very well played. I am mind blown right now.
Yeah.
Poor Ash. I'm so
I was,
sorry.
so I was hosting the show, so like I'm hardcore judging every single one of you. Okay, I'm so sorry, but like I knew of the twist, but I didn't know who, and I
Yeah.
immediately saw Phil's finger, and I'm like, okay, so Phil's in a relationship with someone. Who the fuck is he in a relationship with? And then after
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of your interview, and I'm like, okay, which personality do you match with people in here? And I'm like, you don't match with anyone. Who the fuck
Your
are you married to?
your original pick was I think it's Phil and MJ. I think
thought
Phil
it
and
was
MJ are together.
Okay, yeah, no.
Because there was like kindness there, but then after I was like, but then that would be obvious, but no one knew about this twist, except for I guess production. But then
Mm.
I'm like, who's Phil married to? Probably he's just married to some random bitch out there in the world, but probably not the one in here. Damn, Mayan.
I told you this tea was gonna be hot, guys. I told you.
I love it.
Well,
It's
Yeah, that's-
wild.
actually, before we even
You
start,
did.
there was a lot of hesitation. And when I decided that after talking to Raven and Chris from production, when I decided that I was going to play, I literally told myself, just fucking be somebody completely different. Just do whatever you need to do to keep this going because that was your assignment at the beginning of the game. I don't care how far I get. I'm not good at this kind of game. It's actually really sick and astonishing how far I made it and how many people liked playing with me when I was playing the exact opposite of the person I am. If that's not a deep dive in psychology, I don't know what is.
There was a lot of really lucky happenstances that happened in this game. Like one of them obviously being MJ and Mayan being 4 seconds apart at the end. Like when we were watching your turn, Mayan, we were all sitting there on like pins and needles because we all had timers going. Taffy had the official one, but we all were like, it's so close. Like it's like they're a minute apart. They're 30 seconds apart. They're 15 seconds apart. Holy shit. Like but the other
I still can't believe it.
the other
No
amazing
coup.
coincidence was getting you and Phil to be second and third place in this game, the two of you lasting as long as you did in here.
What was also noted that it was such a tight race is MJ used her keys very strategically to skip all the challenges. Mayan, you used your keys very strategically to get through sections that you didn't know without having to try and force your way through it.
Mm.
And what was funny is you made it to the final door first.
Really?
You made it faster than MJ to the final door, but you took longer on that final puzzle.
Yeah.
So we were
What was the
we
final
were like
puzzle?
neck and neck.
It's posted in the viewers lounge. You can check it out. It was a cryptogram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
That's,
I do want to note like the sweetness from Mayan for granting Phil the what was it, putting you in isolation
Yes.
for. So like that, my heart goes out to you. But that was extremely sweet of you
Yeah.
to have done and be there for one another during that time too.
So now you guys can have a good understanding that while Phil was going through all of that issues, like with having his dog put down, Mayan was also going through that same thing, but could not show that to anyone for fear of keeping the
Wild.
secret.
Wild.
So, like, just to let you know, like, that's how strong of a
She had
woman
to
she
work.
is. Like,
Literally, I was able to take the week off of work because of my job. She had to work through the whole thing. So she was working all day. I was staying with the dog, giving her updates. I mean, it was not fun. I almost quit, actually, during that, if that hadn't happened. And that was a deal we made. I was like, literally, if I send you money, can you do this? And she said, yeah, sure. I don't give a shit. So yeah, that's how that worked.
So I have to say, I'm pretty impressed knowing the relationship with the two of you, that in the end you split the keys between the two of us. That was very stellar, and thank you.
Yep.
Well,
didn't have
first
to
off,
do
I was
that.
always going to do that because I was not going to be the jackass sitting on this show and being like, "Yeah, I gave my wife all 10 freaking keys. I stole them all from you. Kill me now. I can't wait for the death threats." That was never going to be my intention. My intention actually was to get to the end and give myself a fighting chance. But after hearing those times, I was never winning this game. I mean, when I say, and production will tell you guys, I was probably the worst at most of these puzzles.
Oh, we'll
First
happily tell
one,
you right now that when you say you almost went home, in the final 3 elimination, Mayan, you beat Phil by a single block.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
One block.
Mayan sleeping on the couch.
No, Phil's been sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
And here's the thing: is like Phil, had you survived that and gone on to the finals with every single key in the game, you obviously would have gone straight to the last puzzle, and then you probably still would have lost to MJ because we know how you are with puzzles.
Guaranteed. That's the really sick part of this game. And I did literally every confessional I pointed out. I am not going to win this unless they, for some reason, I can sweet ass my way all the way through that back door. And
So,
production was not going to do that.
To be fair, he actually knows how to spell congratulations. So
I tell, yeah.
yeah, we can tell you, like, our hearts were leaping out because in both of your final attempts on that, you both had over half the puzzle solved and then went, no, and erased it.
it's so funny.
Wait, what?
So can I ask a question? Because this is gonna bother me. So Phil, let's say you wouldn't. Let's say because I knew I was ahead of you in that final round. If I didn't have to leave the game, if me, MJ, and mine are sitting there, who do you give your keys to?
All you, buddy. I mean,
Oh.
and here's why. Because I actually
Sorry,
told her at the
tell
beginning of
Dennis
the
that.
I told her at the beginning of the game that if I was out, that I was not going to look like a jackass. I was not going to, and I had accumulated so many at that time that I was not going to be able to just give her the keys. I mean, if I'd gone out with 3 keys or something like that, I throw it over there. You're a sweet husband. That kind of situation at the show. If I get to the final 4 and I'm literally working directly with Dennis, and I've been working with Dennis for like 2 or 3 rounds at this point, if I don't give him the keys, I'm not showing up to the show right now.
So,
I'm
So,
not in
real
that
quick-
collection for you, Phil.
Phil, now that I know your relationship with Mayan, wild that Mayan stole my oil can. You traded the code wheel for it, and then you gave me back the oil can. It's wild to
I was
me.
playing with you. I wasn't playing
Yeah.
with her.
and to be on, Mayan was not trying to steal your oil can, Dennis. She was trying to steal the oil
Trying to
can
steal an oil
right
can.
back from Phil that she just gave him.
Yeah, I
Oh.
given him my oil can, and I was like, I had this advantage that you could steal a certain thing, so I wanted to steal the oil can from him, but it just so happened they took it from you because it was like
That's
a
wild.
random
It was a
thing.
random
I
wheel
was
spin.
so upset when my oil can got stolen. I was so mad.
Dennis,
Because
I love
production could tell
I
you,
love the text messages.
production could tell you I was god awful at that slider puzzle.
Yes,
That
he
oil
was,
can
he was
saved
really
me.
bad.
I was so bad.
Me
However,
too.
the second Phil gave me the oil can, I finished that slider puzzle so quick.
So I want to go through a few.
You guys against
share
each
your
other in the
screen.
Olympics.
I want to go through a few quick little
What?
statistics for you guys here. So the what ifs, if we will. So we've gone over the Phil. You were 1 block behind Mayan from getting into the final 3 or getting into the final 2. Dennis, had you not left when you did, you were firmly in second place, and Mayan would have been eliminated that round because Mayan was the only person who did not have the code for the 3rd
Yeah,
door
I
and was stuck
figured
there.
that out. I figured that out.
But the most impressive one of all was the original concept we had for the game was that there was no final puzzle at the end. It was if a person made it to the end of the game, regardless of how far into the game we were, they won, game over. MJ would have got that. MJ was the only player in the game to make it to the end before the final run.
So awesome.
Seriously, you deserve it, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So no
Thank
matter
you.
how we
Yeah, for
designed the game,
real.
you would have won regardless.
Thank you.
Also, Phil, when I told you the whole secret to the game about the flashlight, I guess MJ convinced you it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna go over that. Actually, I want to get in with you here, Dennis. So, Dennis, I you and I played in a org recently. We did not play against each other, but we were in the same game. And I think we both had opinions of each other based on hearsay and whatnot and everything. So it's been really fun watching your game. You play a very big, boisterous, like, I'm going to cause chaos. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this game. And then as soon as it gets to the point where you have to do the thing that you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You go, nah, I'm gonna protect myself instead. And this was a continuous thing to the point where we almost had a drinking game on production of how long before Dennis backs off of that plan and just protects himself. And one of the biggest moments we had was when Dustin went, because you were adamant, I'm gonna walk away from the game. I don't want Dustin to go home. I want
I did. I
to
really wanted
step
to.
away so that Dustin can win. And then not 5 minutes later, we get a message from you going, I'm pretty sure Dustin's gone this round, which is great because I know he's going to give me his key.
Yeah.
Which Dennis is the real
It's true.
Dennis in the game?
It's true. It's true. No, but so wait, hold on. There's got to be some backstory to that.
Well, hold
Because
on.
I said,
Dennis
because I said if I leave, if I decide to quit, can I give Phil all my items? Can I give Dustin all my items? Right? I said if I leave the game, can I give Dustin all my items if I quit? And you told me no, I could not. That's why I did not leave.
No, you asked us. I forget if you asked after you left. We said if you were fine to give it to him before you left, but if after you left, you couldn't.
Them.
Yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dustin.
Because you were also coming to us and telling us, like, if Dustin gets eliminated, I'm just going to quit so that he can stay. And we told you point blank. We said, no, if Dustin gets eliminated and then you quit, you're both out.
So Phil,
He's not sorry.
So what I said earlier, right, is that night that I was drunk and you were drunk. We were both drunk that night, and we had an hour-long call. You bought me the oil can. As soon as you bought me the oil can, I said, this is what I'm going to tell Phil, the actual advantage in this game and how to get it. And I gave you all the steps to get it. And I guess MJ talked you out of it, but I gave you all the steps. If you just followed what I told you, you would have gotten advantage in this game by following them.
I don't think I talked Phil out of anything. I was always 100% honest with him. And, I even at one point thought we were working together until he started talking all this stuff about he had all the keys. And then I'm not knowing the relationship with Maya, and I'm messaging Maya, and I'm like, do you think he's telling the truth? Is he?
MJ, you probably don't know, but you did inadvertently talk Phil out of going for it because because when Dennis mentioned, I know what the flashlight does, you went, oh, I have a flashlight. Nothing's happening with it. And that started telling everyone, that made everyone think Dennis was lying to them.
Yeah, and Phil, I told you the God's honest truth of how to get the advantage. Because I said, listen, if I couldn't win this game, I wanted you to win.
Yeah, I honestly, at that point, had my hands in so many things, and I was doing other stuff with coins and, had my plan going. And I thought that I didn't need whatever you had because of what I had. And MJ had literally just given me the clue for 3. And that's where my brain was. I was so worried about getting to 3 because I figured if I couldn't get to 3, I was going home. So she gave me that clue, went over the numbers. I'm like, I can just count all these up. I didn't realize, because I'm not as smart as Isabel, you could have just read the first letter of every single sentence, and it said count all of the numbers for the answer, or whatever it said.
So bring that up on screen right now. For those who don't know, we gave them a Warden's Manifesto on day 1. And not even an hour into the game, Isabel comes into production chat and shouts out the number 13671. And we said, what? And she's like, I solved the code. And we're like, what do you mean you solved the code? We expected this to take a long time. She got it in the first hour. If you look at the Warden's Manifesto and you read the first letter at the beginning of each line all the way down, it spells out, to get the code, add all of the years. So if you go through this message and you find all of the years and you add up the numbers, that gives you the number 13671, which was the access code for door number 3 in the maze.
Yeah. I mean, when I had my first conversation with Isabel, I made 2 decisions. I said, this is my number 1 because I'm going to learn everything in the game really quickly. And then the second that she needs to go, she is going right away. It's literally my first thought process. And I clicked so well with the other Aussies, and I thought that we were like a tight 4, that when Banfield left, then it was for me mostly about keeping like at least one of them. Isabel was so busy with the other stuff, she was scared about the puzzle. I knew Kira because she had told me exactly where she was. We would be safe together moving forward. And I said, "Yeah, I will steal her number one, and she can be my number one now." And then I just
So I want to touch back
Honestly,
on. I want to go back and touch on this. Like Dennis, you're kind of like my entry point into this. So Dennis was the only person to solve the scavenger hunt in this game, and I think some of you might even be looking at me right now and going, "Scavenger hunt." So if you have the stream open, I'd be happy to walk you through this. This is something that we developed about a week before the game started. I just felt like this would be a really fun addition. So it all starts in your cells. You'll notice that there is a big grate up there with 4 screws holding it in. Well, if you go to the store and you bought the screwdriver, you could take that vent off, and inside you would access this brick. And we would tell you that the brick is a clay brick. One of you set it aside and forgot all about it, Joe. The rest of you who found it did get the right idea and smashed it open. And inside, you would find a scroll and a flashlight. The scroll was designed to get you guys to not share information, but everyone in this goddamn game, the second you learned any little thing, had to run and tell everybody else about it. So that completely backfired on our end. So by like day 5, about 6 or 7 of you had gotten this far. So then this is where everyone got stuck. The janitor's closet has a lock on it that we told you has a 6-digit number that you needed to enter in, and nobody for the longest time could find it. And this infuriated us on production because we gave you the number on day 1, and we even gave you hints to tell you where the number was, and everyone except for Dennis ignored this. We gave you a prison transfer report on day 1. On that number, on that report, you all have a prison number that's even written twice, in one case underlined. You enter that number into that lock, the door opens. You find a cardboard box containing a spool of twine and a hook. A lot of you also found the grate in the prison yard and looked in, and we told you find a shiny round metal object. If you tie the twine to the hook and reach down, you will retrieve a guard's keys that were dropped there. Damn it, guard Steve. You then take those keys to the commissary, open the trapdoor on the bottom, but when you open it up, it's way too dark. So now you buy the batteries from the store, put them in the flashlight you found, and now you find yourself in a tunnel that you can navigate through. You go to the end of the tunnel, and you find this. 3 pedestals, each containing an envelope, and you are allowed to choose one of those envelopes. Dennis, I believe you chose number 3, and he received a skip pass, allowing him to skip 2 sections of the maze during an escape attempt. Nobody else, even after he spelled it out directly to Phil never attempted to go for this. The other 2 advantages, one was a contraband block, which you could play on any player at any time, and it blocks them from using any items or advantages going into elimination. And the last one, Phil and Mayan will like this because they had the golden versions in the game, but we also had the diamond handcuffs, which work the same way, except you could use them at the end of your escape attempt. If you were not happy with how you did in that run, you could play them and you would have immunity.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Super
gross.
So Dennis, the
Honestly,
only
so
person to
Phil-
find it, and a lot of it was
Phil,
because we literally, when we had the auction challenge where we gave the envelopes, Dennis made out like a bandit. He won almost
I got
everything
3
good.
advantages.
Yeah, and one of them was very specifically telling him, "Look at your look at your prison report." And as soon as he finally looked at it, he went, "Oh shit, there's a 6-digit number there," and he had the thing in 2 minutes.
Phil, the only reason why I didn't tell you as soon as I found it was I asked production if my keys could be stolen, and they told me, I don't know, fuck around and find out. And I was like, oh no. No one's knowing this. Absolutely not.
I feel so stupid because I remember thinking when you told me that he is so full of shit.
I was 100% telling the truth. Because you
Yeah.
bought me the oil can, and that
Right,
bought
but
loyalty with
before
me.
that, I had been smoozing you and trying to give you information and had gotten nothing in return. And
That's
I was
why
like,
I gave you
I've been
it.
in these kind of relationships before. I know when to believe stuff and when to not. You know, so like it was.
Honestly, Phil, eventually they're going to tell us who the snitch is, if there really is one. But I aligned with you early because round 2, I thought you were the snitch, and I thought you were the snitch the entire game.
And not
Obviously,
to work.
don't say if you're not yet.
Hey,
But I
let's.
thought you were the snitch the entire game.
This is the night of reveals. Let's get into that.
Get
Now,
into it.
several of the people in the viewers' lounge do know who it is. It was inadvertently confirmed on our last recap show. But those of you who only recently left the game probably don't know, and I'm curious to hear. Dennis, who do you think the snitch is? There is a snitch. Don't think that there isn't one.
Yes.
There is one.
So I'll run you through my logic. Round 1, I thought it was Banfield. And the reason why I thought it was Banfield was because you said the snitch created paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I won, Banfield was the only one that was in my confessional going, who are you going to nominate? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? What's going on? And I was like, what is this guy hounding me about what's going on? But now it makes sense if there's an Australian alliance, because I definitely wasn't telling Isabella. I was definitely not telling her. I was like, Isabella is sharp, and I'm not telling her anything. So, no. So I thought of Banfield. Then I settled on Phil for a little bit. And then I was like, if it's not Phil, it has to be Bella.
Okay, Phil, Mayan, what about you two? Who do you think it was?
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
I definitely thought it was Banfield at the beginning too. Sorry, Banfield. And then I thought it was Bridget, just because of the people that talk the most, basically, about the snitch in Chow Time, is why I thought that. And then towards the end, I was kind of leaning towards Bridget or Julia, and I couldn't quite figure it out just because of like what everyone was saying. I'm sorry, Julia.
Phil?
You're good, girl.
At the beginning, because I was only basing it on the very first hint that the warden said they were stirring it up, I thought that it was either Banfield or Julia. Throughout the game, though, I noticed that somebody was protesting and talking about the snitch even when none of us were thinking about it or giving a rat's patootie about it. So I landed on Bridget at the end of the game.
Okay.
But she sent me the key, which made me think she was the coolest snitch that's ever lived.
And MJ, what about you?
I first thought Banfield and then quickly switched to Bridget, and I maintain that to the end.
All right. I think because everyone named you Banfield, I think it's only fair that we reveal now. Banfield, tell everyone who the snitch is.
I had this figured out 5 minutes after it was revealed. I had it pinned, I had it nailed. Everyone, the snitch was Julia.
Yes, it was.
I knew it.
Go Queen.
That's awesome.
So,
We're
yeah,
good.
I
I would have
literally
never
told
guessed you,
5
Julia.
people before I left. I told 5
I was
people
trying not to
before I
cause
left
too much
that it
chaos.
was Julia. And nobody followed
believe-
through with it and disregarded what I said.
If Luke
God,
is
I wish you
watching
would
this,
come to me because I
No,
wanted to.
if Luke did not get eliminated, Julia would have been fucking gone in the first
Yeah.
5 minutes because of Banfield.
Yeah, Julia, we can tell you now that had we not removed Luke from the game, you were going to
You
be
would've
the
been
first
gone.
person out because
I mean, that's fine.
Banfield and Isabel were busy little beavers in this game and were finding shit left, right, and center at the beginning. They are the only two in the game who found a shiv, and they found it both on day 1. And Banfield immediately was like, I know the snitch is Julia, and I'm going to play my shiv on her. And the way the shiv worked was if you play it on somebody, any advantage they have played on them and any items they have for that round of the escape are null and void, including immunity. And Julia had immunity that round for completing her first task, but the shiv would have eliminated that. And Julia actually did come 1 block behind Bridget on the very first escape and would have been the first person eliminated from the game. So Luke being removed saved your ass.
Fucking Luke.
I mean, either way, it's fine.
Julia also,
Hey, Aussies,
well played.
always
Sorry.
cut the Aussie if you can. They're too smart.
Julia, well played. Me going against you in that challenge and you bribing me to throw it because you knew I was going to throw it.
I mean,
100% I was gonna throw it.
Yeah,
Hold
Julia
on, I just
definitely.
want to give Julia her
Julie's on
flowers.
another
This is
call, so we'll kind of speak for her a little bit here.
No, you're good.
snitch she was. The very first conversation had with her, she told me not to trust Dennis, and all the way to the final four, that conversation had wormed its way into my brain, and I was like, Julia wouldn't have told me that if there's not.
I'm very persuasive, so
That's freaking.
you
I mean, I
Yeah.
the
you
whole game I was working with Dennis. It's like Julia told me not to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There.
Julia bribed me, I guess, if she was a snitch. I accepted that in like 3 seconds. I was like,
Yes.
absolutely, I'll throw it.
I knew you would.
Absolutely. 100%.
So Julia bribed during that challenge. She bribed the entire opposing team during
Ooh.
the Olympics,
Yes, I
and
did.
every player accepted it, and
Uh-huh.
MJ was the only one to
Yeah.
accept but not go through.
Yes, MJ.
And we asked her afterwards, MJ, why did you do that? And what did you tell us?
I said if I thought it would help me, I would, but if it wasn't going to help me, I wasn't going to use it.
But she said, she told us, she's like, I accepted
And
the
I said,
bribe.
give me more money next time.
She said, so to Dennis and Phil, you guys could have negotiated. We were willing to go up to 20
I mean,
coins.
I did negotiate. I negotiated with you.
Kind of. But we were willing to go up to 20 coins. Everybody but the two of you negotiated up to 15. But MJ looked at us afterwards when we said, you were supposed to throw that. She said, well, I figured this way. If I throw it, it looks suspicious on me. But if she accidentally loses it, but if I end up winning anyway, or if I lose anyway, at least I make some money off of it. And
Not
we're
me
like, that's a
telling
really
Julia.
solid point.
Not me telling Julia during a call with her.
I did kind of think the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me telling Julia during a call that I threw the competition to her, and then telling her the statement I had to say in order to get 5 extra coins. What is idiot?
Yep.
Yeah, that was just an added thing. Dennis came to us and was like, will you give me 5 coins if I say something during the challenge? And I said, no. And he's like, no, make me say something ridiculous and give me 5 coins. And I was like, I asked production, I said, all right, anybody got anything? And Potts gave him a line of something about, a prison door is locked or whatever. So as soon as he walks into the challenge, the first thing he does is, Julia, I was watching this documentary about prisons last night. And we're like, oh, God, he's hamming it up. Yes.
You get coins.
Well, so it was true. I did watch a documentary about Rikers Island where they do make them take hot showers because the water's cold. That is true.
This is wild.
Also, for the record, I know initially mid-game it seemed like there was some suspicion on Izzy as well, and I personally on production did want her to be the snitch, but I was overruled.
So yes, ultimately the snitch choice was my decision, and I did have I had a final 3 in mind of who I wanted it to be. Isabel was not on that list, and here's why. Isabel is fuck you. You are a wonderfully chaotic and energetic player, and I didn't want you to be in a position where you had to hide that. I wanted you to be your true self and be out there, and I wanted also some shields to protect Julia, like some people that were going to pull suspicion, so it wasn't so obvious on some of the tasks. But my final 3 that I had intended for it, one was MJ, because I was so impressed by your interview and how into this you were and how turned on and sharp you were about game theory and that I thought you would be actually really good at. No one would ever suspect you. You would really fly under the radar. No. But I didn't know enough about you as a player, so I couldn't really give it to you. The second was Bridget, because I played a game with Bridget recently, and I know Bridget is chaos. I think anyone who was around for the Bridget Julia fight of the century during this game knows that. Bridget is not somebody who is going to sit back if there's a reason to be put out front, and I thought she would be really good with that. But I didn't know how Bridget would play in this format of a game, because the game we played was very, very different. It was very politically based. So the last one was Julia, and I said right from the beginning that when I first envisioned the role, Julia was somebody I had in mind and actually headhunted down to be in this game for that reason, because I've played in a few long-term orgs now, and I've won my first 2 that I played, and the third long-term org I played is the first time I've ever been officially voted out of a game and eliminated, and it was by the hands of Julia. She was so good at like at the social relationships, that she was really in there every night, finding things we had in common and building relationship with me and conversations. And then she had no problem at any point turning around and shifting and cutting me from the game to benefit other people. And I was so impressed by how well she snowed me that I said, if you can, because I'm normally really good at sensing this stuff, and I did sense something was up, but way too late. She had already sunk her teeth in and got me out. And I was like, I was so impressed by that I was like, if you could even bring like half of what you did to me in that game to this game, you are going to fucking kill it.
That's because I like playing the villain game.
So yeah,
And Kira, I'm sorry that I used my reversal on you and I put you into that round. Then I made everyone believe it was not me, but it was definitely me.
Yeah. But yeah, she had a few misses, like where she was not able to complete her task, and that's ultimately what took Julie out of the game. Was one of her punishments was she had that contraband block played on her in the one where she went in and got eliminated. But she did have a few successes in there, and one of our favorites was definitely the escape room challenge, and mostly because, oh, Isabel. It was really unfortunate that the person who works at an escape room happened to be working at the time they were doing that and was so distracted by that she wasn't really able to help as well as she would have in her challenge. And when you put somebody who works in an escape room and they don't perform flawlessly, it immediately turns everyone. Yeah, you were the scapegoat hardcore. Meanwhile, what Julia did was basically find a way to sit out of the entire challenge. However, I think that ultimately is what blew it, because by you sitting out and not stopping Dennis and Dustin from being successful, the two of them were able to rip through that thing really quickly.
Yeah, Julia, you came in at the end and you're like, hey guys, what's going on? I was like, Julia, stop talking. Stop talking.
We literally had it all figured out. We were on the very last one. When she pops in, we're just like,
You just jumped in.
Figured it out.
What's
I'm
going
like,
on, guys?
what
How's
we
going on?
do.
I was like, they're distracting us. Stop talking, be quiet.
Yeah.
That was a point.
I want to show
now
you.
It makes sense, but
I want to show you one more thing about this. That this is another little thing that we've had right from day one that you guys could have found but didn't, and this was a fun little one. Again, our frustration levels of you guys not looking at your prison transfer reports. So if you have the stream pulled up, you may want to take a look at this. On your prison transfer reports, you may notice that at the bottom there is a. Sorry, let me just get there. That there is. Why is it not? Oh, sorry. That there is a transfer approved by Sergeant Justine Chialzis. Now, that name might not mean anything. However, if you rearrange the letters of that name, why is it not playing? Sorry, it's crying out loud. So if you rearrange the letters of the... Fuck off! Why is it not playing? It spells out Julia is the snitch.
oh.
You guys all had that from day one, and no one ever went back and looked at those reports, and half of the game's information was hidden in it.
Dun dun dun.
All right. Speaking of things being hidden in the game, Dustin. We've obviously gone over this a bunch of times, but I think the one thing we didn't really touch too much on was, obviously, like, Dustin went into the very first elimination and then did not go back in again until round 7. Now, I know a couple of those rounds were obviously like, I'd like to sit back, I'd like to kind of like hide out and not be targeted or anything. But was there a point where you really we never really saw a fight from you at a certain point? We definitely did see you start to get concerned after a while, going, oh shit, I'm not going in and I'm not getting anything. But we never really saw a fight from you to put your name in there and be like, hey, put me in, someone put me in. And were you still hoping that, like, the relationships you had were going to benefit you towards the end? Or were you just kind of like, it's better to not, I'm safe if I don't?
Both. I was like, it didn't click at first that I had to like go in to survive. It clicked like round 5 maybe, Um, so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna rely on my relationships to get me to the end now that I have to actually like, go in and do it, which Mayan did help me a lot.
Mhm.
After sending her about like I think 20 coins over 2 rounds.
Yeah, you had
So
no business beating Kiara in this game. Like the fact that you got so much information from Mayan before that elimination to get you to the second checkpoint was like that really saved your ass. Like you had no
I
business
know it
beating
did.
her.
Yeah, I know.
I love you.
I love you too. But
I was really mad that round. I'm not gonna lie. I was so mad that I did the whole confessional how mad I was on that round.
Sorry. Anyway, the about that round it clicked. I think mine had immunity, and I was at work, so I was like, oh, I was gonna be like, oh, mine, put me in, but you were like, nominations are like on hold or something for whatever reason, and so by the time I got to her and said something, literally no more than a minute later, nominations haven't made. I was like, fuck. I was like, I
I
don't.
know. I'm so sorry if that was my fault. Like I just wasn't
It
100.
wasn't. So I was at work, and when I messaged you, like 2 minutes later, they're like, nominations have been made, and I was like, well, I was like, too late, so sad, so sorry. And then the next round, whoever won immunity, I didn't have a good relationship with them, I think. So I didn't fight for myself. I was just like, I'll just sit back and like see what happens. And that's when I was like, I gotta get creative with this and like who's someone I can go to that will give me information. And I was like, Mayan's one person that would. I was like, Dennis is being sketchy, but I think he would also. And Phil, I did not trust. Still thought he was the snitch for a long part of that game. I thought he was the snitch.
Most
So
Yeah, I'll say like a lot of people coming out like really had Julia pegged. Banfield, Joe especially, were both came into viewers
Yeah,
lounge going like,
fuckers.
I like we know 100%, and I had to ask them like just don't confirm it in the chat. We didn't end up individually confirming it until we were running. We had Dustin on the recap show last week, and we were running through what some of the snitches challenges were. And then,
that's
as I mentioned one of them, I immediately regretted saying it right afterwards because I looked over and saw Dustin go, "Son of a bitch! It was Julia." Like,
literally because he goes, oh, she's supposed to throw a challenge this round, and I was like, is it the escape room? He goes, yeah, and I was like, it's Julia. I was like, you figured it out. Like, I mean, she's
Dustin.
already out, but
When you
like,
mentioned the become a captain, I was like, thank
Mhm.
you. Because I
yeah,
literally I wanted to say something that round and not have her be a captain. But I
yeah,
was
be a
like,
captain.
everybody doesn't think she's a snitch. And I didn't want
Sorry,
to
I'm
make
up
an
for
enemy.
eviction, but I'm here.
Like I didn't want to make an enemy of her that soon. So I was like,
Yeah,
I don't want to like
the
argue
captain
for her
one.
not to be a captain.
I'll say captain one clicked it for me because I was like, Joe's not the snitch. I already knew that, and I was like, so it has to be Julia because she's the only other captain. That really
Joe, when
clicked
you
it.
wrote me paragraphs when I was
Yeah.
your cellmate, I just wanted you to say a name. I wanted you to
So
tell me
I
so
knew
bad who the snitch was.
there were so many people that were too connected to her, and she had saved me the first round for not going in. That I was like, I don't want to make an enemy of her this soon unless I know we can get her out.
Kira,
'Cause I
Kira,
knew
sorry,
people
can
would
you
go back
mute?
to her.
If you guys aren't talking, can you mute? We're getting a lot of Kira. We're getting a lot of background noise coming through on yours.
May.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear myself coming through on your thing right
Oh.
now. Yeah.
Oh, that's because I've got it on my TV.
Yeah, if you could just mute when you're not talking, just so we don't get that echo, thanks.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, you know what, Kiara, we'll go to you. So this actually kind of almost brings up, Kiara, you were our most inadvertently hilarious contestant this season. I will say that on a whole, we all on production had little arguments about who was going to do your escape attempts because none of us wanted to do them. So yeah, so Kiara's biggest villain in this game was Australian internet lag. And oh boy, it was tough doing her.
Yep.
Yeah, you can hear it now. It was so bad trying to do some of them, but we finally found a way to get through it. But I think the most hilarious one ever, though, and I don't know if we still have the video. I wish I could try to find it and post it or something. Was your first attempt? Because Kara did not know what was going on with the mazes, and she came in and was so concerned about the time limit and screwing something up, that she walked in and just immediately mixed with the lag. All we were getting was up one, right one, up one, left one, left one, left one, up one, up one. Care, slow down, slow down, slow down. No, 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 there's a time limit. We have to go. Like up two, up three, up four, left four, left four, five times. And we were like, stop. We had to keep pausing her timers. Be like, we can't keep up with you, and the lag is killing us. And it was like, it was one of the most horrific moments where we looked at each other and we went, and I think you were the first person to run the maze too, and we all looked.
She was.
Taffy and I looked at each other and went, "Oh God, we made a mistake designing this thing." But eventually, we calmed you down eventually, and you were flying through it and you were doing really well. But that was like the most inadvertently hilarious moment of the entire season for us.
It was difficult, and it was like she came in and immediately started giving directions. She didn't even let us explain like
No.
the spiel of what the maze was, how much time she had, anything. She came in and immediately started going up one, left one,
Yeah,
right one.
we gave her like the first item in the scavenger hunt. She didn't even wait for all 5 items. She just got up and ran immediately, and we were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But one thing I want to like ask you too, Kiara, like, because we've heard Phil's side of this story, and Phil has told us in production that if you had been in the finals, you would have been the person he would have given all of his keys to. Now, we never really saw too much of like the relationship between you, but could you explain from like your end what was your relationship with Phil in the game, like that, where he would be at that point?
I think in terms of social connections, like I think I may have mentioned to you that I tend to click with guys in orgs, and he and like I've made a friend in Phil. We talked a lot about like non-game stuff, and I think that naturally flowed to, because you're my friend, I'll give you all my stuff. Because you're my friend, I'll help you. It was definitely social first rather than game first, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And another inadvertently hilarious moment of the season for you too was like pre-show, when we asked you guys to do like the pre-game interviews or your first confessionals, and Isabel's first confessional was, "Oh my God, Kiara's here! I'm so excited! I can't believe Kiara's here! I love Kiara! I can't wait to work with her." Cut to Kiara's first confessional. Oh fuck, Isabel's here! Oh God! Oh, I gotta get her out immediately. Like.
When I told Kira, I cried. I was like, oh, fuck myself.
See why Kira was my number one so early? We've literally thought the same way about one of our allies instantly.
You feel.
Sorry.
Kira, I do want to apologize to you for 2 things in this game. I want to apologize for 2 things.
Not. Oh.
One, I intentionally targeted you a whole lot because Phil was, because you were Phil's number 1, and I was not allowing that to happen. You told me that you wanted to be in alliance with me and Phil, and that instantly connected you two in my mind. And I said, Kiara's got to go. So I used the reversal on you in the one round to put you in and take me out. And you showed me your chart of how you were getting to number 1, and you were not correct. And I was like, oh, I'm not correcting her. Never mind. I don't want your code wheel. Keep your code wheel.
Yeah, we'll cut to Isabel now, because this also kind of ties in a little bit. Because I remember, like, Isabel, you were like, when you went out, you were very paranoid about where you were in it, and you were asking everyone for information, and you had 2 people that you really thought were helping you out in it, and one of them really was helping you out, but definitely specifically gave you incorrect information to throw you off. And then you had, which was Phil, who gave you one direction incorrect, which really caught you up. And the second was inadvertently Kiara, who had told you that, oh, here's where my map goes, but I don't think you go straight up into the checkpoint. I think you have to go up and around. The Kiara legitimately did think that was the case, but it was not. No, you just went straight up into it. Yeah.
We were screaming in our head, go up. And you were not the only one. There was a couple times, like Julia.
Julia had the second most hilarious run, and again, I'm so mad at myself that we did not record this one.
Yeah.
Julia got to the checkpoint to go up, but instead of going up into it, kept going and ended up, if you look at the maze, went halfway back to the starting point all the way around. And Taffy and I are sitting there watching this going like, this is so heartbreaking for her, but so fucking hilarious to watch. And then she asked me afterwards, she's like, you recorded that, right? So we can watch it back. And I was like, oh shit.
No, because I was annoyed as fuck, and I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, we know that. We've gotten that sense, Julia.
Yeah, but
I
it
feel
was
like
it was
I feel like
hard.
with my game, like I could have had so much more opportunities. And coming into this game, I literally said to Raven that I do have a few commitments here in Melbourne. I'm a part of a community which is Survivor. That's where how I got into this community was all in through those people.
Everybody go to YouTube and watch Sydney Survivor featuring Isabel.
Yeah. So I did a Geelong Survivor with 18 of my friends that went over a whole weekend. So that was really difficult. And then also the day before my escape attempt, I hosted my own Survivor with 16 people. And then that morning, I didn't sleep. I wasn't feeling well. And Taffy can tell you, Brent can tell you, Christopher can tell you, I was a fucking emotional wreck. People who know me know that I wear my heart on my sleeves. These games do mean a lot to me. A lot of people just be like, it's a fucking game. Get over it. Unfortunately, to me, it's not like that. I always give my all in these games because I know how much effort production go into creating games because I've been there as well. So when I was doing my escape attempt, started having a panic attack, and I was really emotional trying to catch my breath, and I just knew that my chance of this game was over, and I was devastated because I actually really individually loved playing with all of you. Even though everyone thought I was a snitch, it was so funny to watch. And it all unfold. Banfield, I fucking love you so much. We made a connection straight away. And I'm so sad that Banfield got eliminated straight away because Banfield and I had an hour and a half chat. And in that hour and a half, we literally had 80% of the scavenger hunt done in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was devastated. I couldn't finish that.
Yeah, I want to touch on that a little bit because another funny moment in the season was, I believe it was day 3, Dennis and Julia, you guys had gotten the vent open and you had the flashlight and everything, and you'd found the item in the sewer, and you were at the point where you got stuck, where it was like, okay, we just need the janitor code, and the two of you were going, like, oh my god, like, we're so far ahead of everyone in this game, like no one even has a clue how far ahead we are of everyone. Banfield and Isabel had gotten to that point about an hour into the game.
Day one.
Yeah.
We jumped on a call in the first 10 minutes and found it all in under an hour.
Banfield bought the screwdriver and they opened the vent. They found they found the flashlight.
Batteries.
Isabel immediately found the coins in the toilet tank and in the mop bucket. So she had 30 coins right off the top of the game. She bought the batteries.
And also the shiv under the desk.
She found the shiv under the desk. Then Banfield found the shiv behind the basketball net. And this is all in the first day.
In the first hour.
Yeah. By the way, you guys did miss some items in the game. In the cafeteria, there was another shiv hidden underneath the kitchen counter. No one looked under. And in the infirmary, there was a shiv inside the bed mattress that nobody asked to look in. And there was a contraband pass on a little white box on the top shelf that nobody looked in. But yeah, Isabel, you came in guns blazing. You were absolutely cleaning up. And like, that's why we love you in these games, because you don't sit back. You don't coast or anything like that. Like, you come in and you go, I don't give a shit if I'm the first person out. I'm going to fucking do everything that I can in this. And we loved watching you play that way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was an honor. It was great fun, and like 10 years in the making. Like you've absolutely smashed it out of the park, and I'm so grateful that you've invited me back again to play one of your games. This is my 3rd game that I have played with you.
You're not allowed in the next one though.
I'm not. This is my third game with you, and this one has been an absolute blast.
Yeah. No, we loved having you for that. Like I said, you're so energetic and so like in your face with everyone. Let's put it the opposite, Bridget. Bridget, you were. This was shocking to me. You were quiet, very very quiet through most of the game, until you weren't. And that was the moment when I looked at everyone on production and I said, "This is why I pushed to cast Bridget." Was because as soon as anybody did anything against you, you do not take any shit. You do not sit back. You do not let anyone get away with anything. You pounce. And the fight that you had with Julia was one of the biggest moments in the viewers lounge. Like there is so many screenshots
God.
of what happened in that going back
That
and
made me
forth.
so upset.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Chef's
that
kiss.
upset me because I knew it upset Julia.
Mhm.
Because I'm not one of like I'll troll people all day, every day. And if somebody's being a dick to me, I will insult their entire bloodline until there's nothing left. But she genuinely wasn't doing anything wrong. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this and run with it because I'm 99.9% sure at this point she's the snitch. And each time I had been like, this person is for sure the snitch, immediately I had gotten proven wrong. And so when she got so pissed that I was like, okay, snitchy, she's like, shut up. And I'm like, oh, I've struck a nerve here. I can either choose to let this go, but I'm not one of those people. That's just not who I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
I was
yeah,
actually gonna ask, like, because you were like quieter than I mean, like you and I played cheesecake, and you were never a conversation happened in that game without you having an opinion on it or chiming in on it in some way. And I wonder, like,
yeah.
was it because of that? Did you maybe like come in going, I think I might need to just check myself a little bit? Because you were like, a lot of the comments we got from players was like, I forget Bridget's even here. Like, is Bridget still playing? Like, I don't know anything about Bridget. And I wonder, was that because you were like, really like, I gotta watch what I say? Like,
No, honestly, I was also playing 2 other games at this when this whole thing started, and I like my work schedule changed, so I was like getting adjusted to that. So like I just had a bunch of shit going on, and I also haven't used Discord in like 4 years.
yeah,
So
that's a Luke
I keep
excuse.
forgetting. I
And
like
you're also a mum.
well, yeah, and I also had a cat that had kittens like the day this game started. Or that might have been the day that the game, I don't know if we,
It was like the
but
pre-starting day.
Oh,
yeah, it was when, well, I was playing another game, and it was actually, that's how Dennis and I knew each other before this. But
did we ever determine if you have more cats than MJ has offspring? Because I know it's
I
close.
hope I have more cats than she has offspring because
Well,
I got too
I'm
many
talking
goddamn
kids,
cats.
grandkids, great grandkids, like just
Oh,
down the line. Like,
well then she
do you have more
probably,
offspring than she has cats? Because you have what, 22? 22 cats?
I have 22 cats. Oh wow, that's
no,
amazing.
I have 18 now.
Oh, it's
Unfortunately,
closer than
one
I
passed
thought.
away.
Okay.
One of the kittens was
Oh,
born, and then 2 days later she died. And what's funny is like I'm literally, it was like the night that the game I was playing started, and I'm sitting there like, holy shit. Wait, no, it was this game. Because I'm sitting here going, oh my god, this cat's literally just sitting here like, look what I can do. Here's another. And I'm like, I'm trying to do something here. Can you not? And she's like, how about this? And I was up until like 4 a.m. that night making sure she was done popping kittens out of her. Anyway, that was insane. But yeah, and then, I said to production all the time, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing this entire game. And they were just like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, but no, I think they thought I was joking. No, I have no fucking clue what I was doing.
we figured that out when we realized you were the only player in the game to do worse on a maze their second attempt.
That's just me. Some of us, do well, and some of us are just bad. And we all have our thing, okay? We can't all be Isabels here.
Yeah, you got
So,
very saved by Banfield leaving the game.
and then I got by the fucking Easter Bunny.
Yeah,
But which of course that happened. That kind of shit happens to me. But
yeah,
at least I wasn't too cunty.
that's true.
At least it wasn't that.
So
But
I was thinking, probably off in chow time is the Bridget I know from Succession.
I was just waiting
I
for
was
the
like
sock
waiting
full of
for
fucking
it.
butter.
I was like, is she like chilling out or what? Because like
Now,
this is
when you started saying about the sock full of butter, all I could think of was Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly because I grew up on that, and I was like, "Fuck, Bridget is literally Jeanette McCurdy," and I'm here for it.
I wish you guys could have had the opportunity to like just read through her production chats with us because like it was at an 11 in there. Um,
Queen.
I
I
also
yeah,
loved her confessionals. Her confessionals were one of my favorites to
Yeah,
watch as
she's like,
production.
I watched every when I got eliminated, I watched every single one of this, and Bridget was just like, "Hi, me again." I woke up a bit cunty today, so what am I going to do today? And that's how I
the
wake up
cunty
every morning
thing.
now. I'm like,
Well,
oh, I've woken up a bit cunty
clock
today.
it. Yeah, the cunty thing is an inside thing because I literally got eliminated from the cheesecake game that Brent and I played, and I played together, because some old bitch got offended because I said that a fake tinfoil hat was cunty, and she was like, "You can't say that," and I was like, "First of all,
yeah,
bitch,
and it
you're talking to
escalated
me."
way beyond
And
that.
then it got insane to the point where like I was like, do I have to like put a restraining order out on this crazy bitch? Because she no, we're talking like levels of insanity that like I couldn't even make that shit up. And I do be making shit up, like, that whole fight with Julie and I. But at least on my end it was made up. And I feel so bad because I know that really upset her. But oh my
Bridget,
god.
Bridget and Dustin, why did we never go back to Julia coming to all of us saying we should pitch Kiara's name in the main chat? Why did we never come back to that?
Bridget
Hey,
did.
I called that out. I
Oh,
fucking called that out in the
because
main
Julia came
chat.
to all three of us was
I
like,
was like,
"Oh, Kiara's a threat in the main
I
chat." I was like,
remember that.
"No,
yeah,
no
I
way."
was like, or it wasn't, it must not have been in the main chat, but I'm pretty sure it was to Dustin. I was like, see how, and he was like, oh shit, I think I just helped her complete her task. I was like, well, guess we'll find out. And he's like,
Yeah, same
have to
thing.
go. Lo and fucking
Well,
behold,
I
there we
tried.
go.
I tried to save Julia, so I came to Dennis when I got when I got eliminated, and I said I have a shiv, and Banfield has a shiv, and I said we've already used it on 3 people,
this
and
Yes,
it
this
I
can't
was
be
like,
these 3 people because
I
they're
knew about
still in
that.
the game. And I said, Julia, I literally knew that. I was like, I knew you were the teacher. I was like, nah, she's gonna fucking run it. I was like, we used the shiv on Julia. It's not her. We used the shiv on Phil. It's not him.
that
And we used the shiv on Kira. And
that
I
was
Yeah, that
literally
was
a
said,
that was
Amy
a
for a
huge
little bit.
huge lie because anyone who was saying Julia's name after you got eliminated went, "Oh, it can't be Julia. She cleared her. They used the
yep,
shiv on her."
yep, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gave me that information, and I
Which
spread that in a heartbeat.
I
which
know.
yeah.
technically now here's the
Yeah,
thing.
Literally,
I did that on purpose.
Here's the thing.
30 seconds after I got eliminated, Dennis ran into the thing. He was like, oh my god, Isabel literally said it's on Julia Phil or Kira, so it has to be
Oh yeah, he
my
did, bro. He said that immediately.
And the thing is technically she wasn't lying because Banfield did use a shiv on Julia in the first round, but because we booted Luke from the game, and we did
Yeah.
that, we made that decision before you guys did your attempts. We
Yeah.
refunded any items back without telling them how it played out. So
And
yeah, Banfield got the
sorry.
shiv back, but did not know if it was effective or not. So
And
heard
then
that
and then I was like, I want Phil and Kira to be safe. So I said to Dennis that it's not Phil, not Kira or Julia because I've used the shiv on all 3 of them and they're still here. And Dennis is like, this is great. Literally got eliminated, and the warden was like, oh god, Isabel, you've done some shit. And Dennis, you just flooded chow time, and I was so for it.
Well, yeah,
So
because I was like, why is Isabella coming to me? She didn't talk to me for the majority of the game. She just gave me all this information now. What is going on?
Isabel knew she was going
call.
out and she wanted to do as much damage on the way out as possible, and that's why we love her.
Honestly,
Okay,
Isabel did
I have to ask this.
call.
This was a question that was brought up earlier, but I have to preface it by saying, is anybody here like fans of Big Brother?
Love Big Brother.
So one of the greatest moments in the history of the show was in season 3 when Marcellus had the golden power veto and chose not to use it on himself, and he walked out of the game, and Julie smacked him on the back of the head and went, "What are you doing, Joe? Smack."
Yep.
You had a reversal
Joe!
pass. You had the opportunity to take yourself out. It was only 3 of you in. One of them had immunity. So you were head to head with the player who was in the lead at the time, and you chose not to use the reversal pass. Explain.
Okay, so there's a few parts of this.
I hope
First of all, I know everybody like gives, we were all given like, Banfield credit with the shiv for the first round and clocking Julia as the snitch. I clocked her as the snitch the same time. Same thing that everybody else clocked was like the whole Dennis Dustin, don't trust them. Mine's shady or whatever. Apparently was what was said to me. And then we were told what the snitch's mission was, which was they were told to bring out chaos. And I immediately I was like, it was really odd that Julia brought this up like first thing in the beginning of the game. Like I was like, I don't know anybody. So I was like, okay, she's a snitch. But then Dennis brings up, when we bring up the snitch, he goes, so is the snitch the same person every round? And the warden kind of gave a non-answer of, as he always does, find out.
I'm
So I
so
was
sorry.
like-
I just have to ask. You said that in our chat together that it was a funny name every time. So what did you say that? I'm so sorry.
So for me, the one thing that I'm not sure how many people have learned this about me, but I am legally blind. And so I have voiceover on my phone, and I would have my headphones in at work. And the way Julia's name is in the chat is Julia Sparkle emoji. So every time it reads Julia's name, it reads Julia Sparkle emoji said.
Okay.
And I'm just like,
no, but that's no. I just don't want people to know my last name. I already got doxxed.
Yeah, no,
That's
and
why I
it's
have
totally
that.
fair. It's just the fact that it literally reads Julia
No,
Sparkle
I like
emoji.
that sparkly emoji.
But it reads that to me and it says sparkly emoji.
Well, like,
so I
for
said
me,
like whenever it reads, like whenever you would chat, it says Julia Sparkle emoji said. And I just found it hysterical every time I would hear that going, Julia Sparkle emoji. I'm like, she's the snitch, this devil, like in the game of like this deception, and I'm getting sparkle emoji. So I just found it hysterical every time that you would chat.
Right.
And so, but like when Dennis said that, like, asked if it was the same person every round, I literally was like, oh, well, okay. Yes, Julia's the snitch in round 1, but she didn't put me in for the first elimination. So like, and we were kind of working together. So I'm like, I don't care if she was the snitch round 1. She got me out of the first elimination challenge. It seemed like we were kind of working together and we were like friendly. So I don't want to get her out. And if it's going to switch to a different person, whatever. But then we found out that after the second round, it seemed like it was the same person. I was like, okay, so it's clearly still Julia. And I already knew I didn't go in to the elimination challenge the first time. And being the org player I am, where I definitely don't have a lot of confidence in my game, I kind of didn't want to turn it into the same thing that happened with Dustin, where I never went in. So I figured everybody was like leaps and bounds ahead of me in the challenge. That I was like, well, yes, I could use the reversal pass on myself. But then I turn into like, I skip out on the challenge every time and I don't get more information of the escape route. So I was like, I just need to go into this. And also by that point, I was so dead set on it being Julia as the snitch. And the player in me wanted to just go out making a big move, which is why I was like kind of talking to everybody like, hey, if I make it through this, I have this reversal pass. If we can like get like time disadvantages, whatever, I'll spring the reversal pass on Julia and we get her out.
So then this begs my second question. Then you said there, I wanted to make a big move and everything and everything. Why then, after not using it, did you not like? Because I think you kind of knew you had a good chance of going. Why didn't you then try to expose her before you went home?
I didn't know how much I could say before because like I didn't know.
Just say whatever you
Once
want.
I thought maybe I was still in. Like I didn't think I maybe like completely lost, and so I thought maybe there was a chance that somehow I survived the escape attempt, and it wasn't going to be me.
Yeah,
Then once you announced it, I was like, I don't know how much I could have said before.
Yeah, here's the deal. It was a bold move, but I don't think anyone in here would have made the same move. But it was bold. I'll give you that.
I was just saying, like I wanted, like, because like I knew like I probably wasn't going to win this game, and that's just me playing orgs.
Yeah.
Like I am typically an early boot anyway, so I was like, hey, if I'm at least going to go out, I want to go out at least making some, some move.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to. And the only reason I didn't say to anybody that I thought it was Julia was because, like I said, I was working with her. No one really seemed to suspect her except for, Banfield, who was our, we didn't really talk much. So I really didn't have anybody like good allies to, plead my case to. Because I felt like everybody was kind of nice with her that like if I said, oh, I think it's Julia, and I didn't really come with like receipts as to why I really thought it was her, it would get back to her, and I didn't want to like cause that. Like, I'm not the chaos player.
Fair enough. I think Chef Chris has a question for everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Chris.
What's for dinner?
Hi.
This is a very important question to everyone. How is the food situation?
Actually, fucking disgusting.
Oh, absolutely terrible.
So I'll
I can
come
look
clean.
under everything in that game.
I'll come clean on something. So the food was never planned for this game. It was literally day one, and Chris comes to me and says, "Hey, can I send them a picture of food and then say it's mealtime?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, go ahead. Like you're enjoying it, you're having fun." And immediately, everyone I look at the peas, I claim this, I look at this, flip this over, I look at this, and I was just like, "Holy shit, I wasn't expecting that." And then all of a sudden, it just started going like, I looked at him, I said, "Do this again tomorrow. Do it again the next night." And eventually, I started going like, let's slip some stuff into the food for them. And we definitely did slip some trolley information in there. I forget which one of you got the note that just said the chef hopes you enjoy this meal.
That was me.
Yeah.
Was that the mashed potato?
Yeah.
The
note literally was just the chef says, "I hope you like my food." That was it.
And honestly, that note is what made me. That note is what made me think when I got the other note that said to look at the transfer report that it was a troll item.
Another dish that we served that also had a little something in it was this one. You may remember. And what you barely can't see is there's a little scroll hidden in the pasta.
I think only one of you saw that.
What? I can't. I want to see it.
Our favorite part of this, though, was I looked at Chris after we had the first few days of it and it was going good, and I said, I have an idea. We knew the story time challenge was always going to be a troll. That was always the biggest troll that we were planning. But originally, the questions were going to be about the manifesto. But then once we started doing the food, I was like, no, this is too perfect. I said, for the week leading up to that challenge, let's give them very specific food with like different plate colors and specific amounts of items on everything. And then that became the best moment ever when we had you guys memorize that story. And so many of you, some of you came in with like 10, 12, 15 pages of notes about that story. And the first question was, what plate color was the spaghetti on? And your reactions, some of you, to the very first question was, Dustin, you had the best. You just flat out broke down laughing. I forget who it was that came in. I think Mayan, you came in and went, I knew you were going to do this. I knew you were going to do this. Like, one of you came in and instantly had the answer because you were like, I had a feeling that you were not going to be asking us about the story. So I looked at other things too.
I will say I was not only the person who decided some of the dishes, I also had some help from the prod team, but I also had some help from my mum as well. and trying to figure out how can I make you guys suffer a bit more. So I thought, you know what? Let's serve them Survivor rice and beans with a toothpick to serve them.
Yeah,
My mom.
we had a lot of fun trolling you guys this season. This was always designed to be a very trolly show, where we wanted you all to constantly be in a state of paranoia, constantly be questioning everything we say and do. You know, it's why, like, half the time at the beginning, we were so specific with you about your wording has to be so specific. But then later on, we were very, like, very blase about how you word things. One of the biggest proponents of that was definitely Phil, who in the card tower challenge was the only one to come in and go, so I can tape the cards together, right? And we went, oh yeah, there's no rule that you can't do that. We didn't tell you you couldn't. So he walked in with a roll of tape and taped the card tower together and had it done in about 5 minutes. And that's why he's the only one that
was like
finished.
2 minutes and 30
Yeah.
seconds. 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
I literally even said, "Can I glue these together?" And they're like, "We didn't say you couldn't." And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, well,
But I
that was
did-
during ours.
We
I
tipped
was
you off
like-
earlier too, because during the Cup Olympics, you guys like we mentioned after some of your turns, we said, "I'm surprised you guys didn't get any tape or glue and tape the cups together." And none of you, a few of you, kind of went like, "Ah, fuck!" Like, we're
So
like,
that's why I left
said,
it vague on
this is-
purpose for that challenge.
we explained from the beginning, this is prison rules. It's not always going to be fair. But to reward you guys for having for us trolling you, we did on production spend the last week coming up with a few awards for you guys and selecting the winners. So we're going to go through that right now. We would like to start off with our award for the most strategic player of the season. And I believe this was for the most part, all of these were universal for all of us, except there was a couple that we were kind of split on. But for strategic player of the season, we gave it to Mayan for your ability to manipulate the coin system and act like a prison store. She's not on camera, but Phil will tell her. While we have you, Phil, congratulations because you have won our social player of the season. And I don't think there's any denying that amongst anyone. The man at one point in the final three, literally after MJ and Mayan both lost their keys, he officially had every single key in the game. Next, our underdog of the season. And I mean, this honestly also should be fairly obvious. The woman never had immunity, went into elimination every single round, and still emerged victorious at the end. Our underdog of the season is MJ. This one is
MJ,
my
you really
personal
impressed
favorite.
me.
We all voted for this one, and I think this person is going to immediately tell me to go fuck myself when we announce this. But the most overrated player of the season is... Give me a smile, big boy. You know it's you. Dennis.
You're not wrong.
Eye roll.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, so at one point, Phil was just feeding me information. Justin was feeding me information. I was just like, why are all these people trusting me? Because I'm going to stab them as soon as I can, like, for real.
It's because you're hot. Duh.
All right. The Guard Steve Award for the most invisible player of the season goes to our boy Dustin up there, Mr. 1-7. The Sherlock Holmes Awards for the biggest sleuth of the season. Now, I did not vote this person, but everybody else did. But I thought of a different criteria for this, but this one definitely goes to Isabel.
Thank you.
I had said Banfield because Banfield never shut up in his production chat asking us questions about everything. When it came
About
to the
food,
code
too.
in the janitor's closet, he came in and he went 0000001,
DMZ
0000002. And I said, are you going to do this or all million numbers? And he said, I will.
Banfield had no idea about the numbers and that
No,
year that I
but
got.
you definitely get the award for the biggest sleuth because holy shit, you were finding stuff like immediately in this game. You were clocked in right away.
Thank you.
And then our final award for the productions players of the season, and this one was a tie. Congratulations to our most social player, Phil, and to our most dominant player, MJ.
Thank you.
Guys, this was a hell of a season. I was so happy to watch it turn out as it was, like going through like there were some days where we were pulling our hair out on production because like we're never doing that maze ever again. That was the worst decision of our lives. It was, I think it was Mayan said to us, like, you know, it wasn't that bad. We only did it 9 times. And I said, no, you only did it 9 times. We did it 9 times times 11. Like, we did it, oh, I believe, close to 100 times over this season.
They even
Yeah.
said, they were like, we're tired of
Like,
hearing
absolute
up
slay.
3,
Yeah.
left 4, down 2.
Yeah. So that's next season. That's not happening. But otherwise, no. It was a great season. You guys were absolutely wonderful. But this was just the beginning for All In Org in terms of long term orgs. This was our first full length game, and we loved it. We need a break, but we're ready to jump into the next one. So much so that we have the next game already in pre-production, and we can finally
Woo!
announce tonight what it is. You'll have to be on the stream to watch this, but this, everyone, is a sneak peek of our next game.
Ooh, drum roll. Know that music.
Yeah, Survivor Fault Lines premiering this summer. We don't have a date set yet. We are literally only a week into pre-production on it. We've got a good crew. Like, we've already been probably had more production chats for this than we did for all of Breakout combined by this point. Half of this cast is on the production team for it, which to me, like I've said before, warms my heart. That is the most special compliment that we can get as a production team, to have people during the game go, we love this game and we love what you do so much that we want to be a part of it and we want to help make it better. And we have a lot of big ideas for this game to make it very, very immersive. Like, we are literally working with like AI bots and development and off-site scenes, and we may even have some fun casting announcements at some point as well. But yeah, we are going big and we are going hard on this. So Survivor Fault Lines is coming this summer. We will announce the date as soon as we know. But that wraps us up for this. Once again, thank you guys so much for being a part of this game and for giving us everything you have. You guys all fit the all-in motto. We love you for it. If anybody has any like final words on their way out, please take them now. But otherwise, thank you guys so much. I love you all.
Well, mine being married is going to be one of the biggest blindsides I've ever experienced.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And could I also, before everybody says anything, could I also have you guys give a massive shout out to Potts, Taffy, and Chris? We had several people on our production team, but these three really, really pushed and put a lot of hard work into this. Taffy, especially, you were not supposed to be in the role that you were in for this. She was only supposed to be setting up Discord chats. That's it. And she ended up basically becoming my co-host this season. So
Happy, you fucking slayed it, Queen. You are the best.
Thank you. I loved hosting you all. It was a great time. You guys were all great players. It was always fun. So,
Now put her
thank
on the
you
spot and
all.
ask her if she'll be back next season.
Oh God,
Hey,
they want me on
of this,
production.
my favorite quote of the season came from you, Taffy.
Well, what's that?
Whee!
I was so
Those who know, know.
amazing.
I will say from my perspective, I've hosted some of you, but I've also know some of you from the org community, and some of you I've only just met. So you guys make All In what it is today, which is not only the fact that you came to play from day one to now, but not only that, but the fact that you bring this sense of energy into the game that is unbelievable to comprehend. So from us production to you guys, thank you for allowing us to let us take you on the journey through jail, feed you some unusual crap.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, and also tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern as well, we will be having our final recap episode of the show. You guys are welcome to come and watch that. Ash and Eric will be hosting that, our wonderful hosts of the recap. We thank them as well. Ash did a lot of research going into each week for this. Like, it was always like a day or two before she was in cramming everything in the Discord to know what was going on.
Listen, it paid to know a lot of the tea because I was able to link some stuff together and be able to figure out why people were fighting every single time or what was going down. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. And honestly, like I don't ever like to be mean, and I felt
I do.
like I'm so nice. I don't know, but it was just there was something that brought out the savage in me, and I felt like a completely different person. But it was super fun. And I do appreciate everyone's gameplay, and there were so many of you that changed my mind too. Phil.
Yeah.
I had a strong distaste when I was going through all of the crew, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you're not the person that you were setting out to be, and I'm like, you are like a quiet savage, and you were doing so good that I'm like, damn, this man's got this. Like you were in the top after for me, and Mayan, you were also like on my radar too after you did the cosplay thing. Well, it wasn't the cosplay, it was the hidden challenge.
Oh yeah, yeah. We
You
fell in love with you when you put in that submission. Like, holy shit.
like I'm a cosplayer, so I was definitely judging everyone's attempt at that thing, and I was like, girl, you did so good in that.
His picture, I was like, "You're so dumb." Like, it's so bad. Like,
I dress up so much better than she does. It's not my fault.
No,
So,
everyone did amazing.
yeah.
Everyone's like their personalities that I thought were going in, almost everyone was different. And I think it's because you weren't expecting what kind of game this was going to be. And everyone did spectacular. This was so much fun. I've never been a part of something like this before. I've only ever played in Raven's first show he ever did.
She won.
And
won.
I did. But being a part of this and seeing all the people here that have a passion for it, it shows. And it was great watching every single one of you. And please don't take my commentary to heart. Yeah. It's just me judging your gameplay is all.
Yeah, we did post our cast assessment preseason is posted in the viewers lounge, as is our judgment on your creative challenges, where I think I almost felt the need to apologize to a couple of you afterwards, but I'm not going to. I stand by everything I said. But anyway, yeah, so I'll be joining Ash and probably Eric tomorrow for a recap of the series in this final week. MJ will be joining us for a chat about her game. We also want to extend an invitation to mine, Phil, and Dennis as the remaining final four. If you guys want to come on for a few minutes and talk about your game as well, that'll be tomorrow night. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it, unless anyone has any final words.
Final words from me as production. Like Raven said, I was not supposed to be nearly as involved as I was, but I want to say a big thank you to the players for multiple things. First of all, it was because of you guys that I got more involved. It was because I was building that relationship with you and I was talking with you guys in your production chats. You guys made, like, the passion that you guys showed for this game is what made me really jump in and get more involved. So I want to say thank you for connecting with me. Thank you for being patient with me, as this is my first time really doing anything in an org. So sometimes I was not always correct. Sometimes I made mistakes, but you guys were all amazingly patient and passionate, and that really inspired me. So thank you all to all of the players.
So you're gonna play next season, right?
Nope.
He won't.
Sorry.
I don't think he'll let me
No,
step
nothing.
down for a while.
Well, she doesn't want to play, and I apologize to anyone who is interested in playing Survivor. We have made a blanket rule that we are not bringing back any previous all-in contestants for the Survivor season. We want to. We're using it because everyone loves Survivor. We know we're going to get a lot of applicants, and this is our way of branching our org out to more people and broadening our horizons a little more. But anyone who wants to is welcome to join production and help us out with that. We absolutely would love to have
come
everybody.
join me.
Yeah, come join so Taffy and I get a break.
But it's also a
Please.
testament too to show you how unique that this kind of competition was in comparison to what is out there, and then just showing the level of the behind the scene production team and how the relationship with you players have really formed. And I think that is extremely special and very like spectacular because there's just so much toxicity out there when it comes to these orgs. So it's really nice to see you guys kind of come together at the end of it all. And wanting to work together. So that's really, really special.
So I keep dodging back and forth. I just found out that my camera follows me on my cell phone. I never
I
noticed
thought you weren't believing anything that I was saying because you're like, yeah, no, I'm not nice. I'm really not that great. I'm the
Well,
toxic
no,
one.
I'm a really evil player. I'm a really evil player. And I went on this game saying I wasn't going to be an evil player. And I'm really a cutthroat player. Celia was not lying. I am not someone to trust in game.
All right, that's it. I'm gonna end the video now, but we're gonna leave this. We'll leave this chat open. You guys feel free to stick around, hang out, ask each other any burning questions you've had for over the season and that. But we're gonna end the broadcast. Also, MJ, mine, I'll add you into the viewers lounge as well, so you guys can go back and watch all the stuff that you've missed over the past 35 days. So with that, thank you everybody for playing. Thank you everyone on production for putting your blood, sweat, and tears in this, and thank you to all the viewers who have been watching along the way and following. We will see you again this summer for Survivor Fault Lines. Have a good night, everybody.
So you better stay your brother.
Bye.